Hi guys, so I am on a spending pause. I have been spending far too much money and it's time for it to stop. I've already told you guys that is it now for me. However, I do have a few things that I haven't shown you yet that I'd already bought. So take this as my last haul for some time. But my goodness, there is a bag to unbox, but this bag is super viral. It's sold out everywhere. Apparently it's sold out in 7 minutes. So how did I get my hands on it? Why did I buy it? And what do I really think of it? What am I talking about? I'm talking about Lydia Millen. I'm talking about FAIRFAX and Favour. Let's get going. I went to find some very smart, very beautiful boots, and there is a company called FAIRFAX and Favour that is renowned for their boots. Now, I have been interested in FAIRFAX and Favour for the longest time. I have already a handbag from the company and I have shown you it before and I absolutely love it, and I will show you it again in a minute. So I am very familiar with FAIRFAX and Favour because there is a show, an agricultural show that comes to this great county of Yorkshire that I live in. So it is the Great Yorkshire Show, and every year myself and my friend, who you will see in this video, you will see her, we go to the Great Yorkshire Show, and every single year we have a beeline to FAIRFAX and Favour because they have a massive stall there. So that is where I bought my previous bag. My friend has bought many things from FAIRFAX and Favour, so it is a familiar brand to us. Okay, so I'm here in a very beautiful village. Look at this, guys. This is Helmsley. And I'm here with a very special person. Shall we just introduce you? Come on. This is my gorgeous friend. Free, say hello to everyone. Hello. So we are in Helmsley because we're going somewhere really exciting, aren't we? We are. We're going to go to FAIRFAX and Favour and we're just going to have a mooch. So yeah, I'll check in later. So here we are. This is FAIRFAX and Favour. Looks very nice. So I'll see what they've got in store. And I ended up with these two big bags full of things, and yeah, as I say, I am on a spending pause, but that is now. These have already been bought, so I will reveal them to you, and as I say, that will be the end of my spending for some time. But anyway, I ended up not with the boots that I thought I would. Anyway, let's get on to what I actually bought, and then I will talk a little bit more about the boots because I know some of you guys have shown some interest in them, and also different calf widths and all of that. So let's have a look at what I ended up with. So as I say, I went in to look at the tall boots, and I ended up coming out with a handbag. Which is always my Achilles heel, I know. But this is not just any handbag. This is a really sought after, sold out, unbelievably hard to get bag. So anyway, how on earth did I get my hands on this? So let's just talk about Lydia Millen just for a moment before I open this and tell you what I really think about it, because I have been very sceptical about Lydia, and I've been very honest about that. I've done a couple of videos, reaction videos. I haven't been controversial, haven't been rude, haven't been disparaging in any way. But I had some questions as to why she might have decided to sell all her HERMES bags and things like that. And yeah, I have talked about that because I found it slightly, I just wasn't sure why she would do that. Anyway, if you want to go see my views on that video, go and have a look at that one. I will link it above and below. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, there was a slight sceptical side of me that thought, are these bags going to be any good? Are these just going to be, as other people have said, and I've said in my previous video, from the pictures I've seen, they look very reminiscent, where are we? Very reminiscent of the Birkin. And because I am privileged and lucky enough to have Birkins, I thought we could do a bit of a comparison because I'll tell you what I really think, based on somebody who has a lot of Hermes bags. And yeah, hopefully I've got a little bit of experience in Hermes and the leathers and the styling and all the rest of it. So firstly, shall we get it open? Let's just talk about the packaging. The packaging is beautiful. All Fairfax and Favour items are packaged beautifully. I know that from the things I've bought before. So you can see here, it's a beautiful, beautiful navy box with gold writing, and it is the usual Fairfax and Favour, but it does say Lydia Millen as well on it. So yeah, it's absolutely beautifully packaged, and I'll get this open and then I'll tell you how I managed to get my hands on it and why on earth I bought it from somebody who has bags like this. Why would I buy a contemporary bag? Anyway, we'll come on to that. So we have a card here that just tells you a lot. I think it is from Lydia, so I'll put that on the screen. Hopefully that is in some sort of focus. So you can pause it and have a look at that if you like. And then inside, again, the box is lovely. The box itself, the dust bag itself, and inside, there's a bit of a sticker there, but inside you can see it's like, I don't know if this is coming up, but it is on like a slant, so it means that yeah, it holds your bag in really, really nicely. So yeah, and then on the side it does say what it is, so I won't show you that. But anyway, so this is a dust bag, and it is, as I say, it's beautiful fleecy navy with the gold lettering. And I managed to get my hands on, and I bought the burgundy micro tote bag. Let me just tell you what it's actually called. The Town and Country Collection micro top handle bag in burgundy pebbled leather. That is its official title. And oh, nearly dropped it then. So here it is, and I will bring it up. It's looking on screen a lot shinier and a lot sort of, it is slightly darker in real life. It's a beautiful, spoiler alert, it's an absolutely beautiful colour. Beautiful burgundy. There, you can see the side, you can see the back. Again, it's coming up a lot more shiny than it is in real life. And then at the bottom, it does have the feet on there. And then you can see the little top handle. And inside, let's get everything out. So it comes with a shoulder strap, and let's get all of this stuffing out of this because we don't need any of that. And then inside, it is one compartment. It has a magnetic closure on the top there, and then what have we got inside? We've got a, hopefully that's coming up, it's got a zipper compartment. It's also got a plaque that has, so it's got a little mirror in it. I'll try not to, I don't know if that will come up or not. And this says, designed in England as part of a limited edition collaboration with Lydia Millen, handcrafted by Fairfax and Favour. So it's got that, sorry, I know mirrors never work on screen, but it's got a little mirror that has a little, hopefully that is coming up. The mirror's just in this little hole here. So that is it. That is the bag. Now it's got on the front of it, you see here, it's beautiful pebbled leather, and you can see it's already starting to slouch. So I think the leather will start to slouch really beautifully. I do think it is lovely. So it's got gold hardware, but I would say it's slightly shiny, but it's not a gaudy yellow gold. It's very, very nice, I have to say. And I think that this, myself and the lady in the store were saying, what does this actually do? But all of this is just decoration. You can take this off because I think that would come out, but this is just, it doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't hold. Let's just have a look, because there's one thing about this bag that I am not overly sure about. Anyway, so if I take that off, so that is me taking off that through that D-ring. But yeah, this is just, you can see this is just attached here and here. It doesn't do anything for the inside of the bag. So what this means is this gussety area, I never like that word, do you guys? But this area here is stitched. So much as there's a tab here, it doesn't actually, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that is not going to open out anymore. That is what it is. So the opening of the bag is slightly, it's not really tight. You can get your hands in really easily, but it is literally, you know, you can't open it out. It's not like the mini Alexa Mulberry where you can open this out and it becomes bigger, or you can pull it this way. It is what it is. So let me put this back. Let me put this, because this is just the detail of the front of the bag. And then let's put that through there we go. So we're back where we were. And then it does have, you can see on the back, it's got a D-ring here, and then it has a D-ring on the inside here. So that is where that's where the shoulder strap goes. So let's get this on. Let's get this on and let's have a look. Now I did try this on in store, so I will put some footage in of me actually trying this on. And weirdly enough, because I didn't know that this bag was going to be there, I went to have a look at Boots. And as far as I was concerned, this is sold out everywhere. So I didn't expect to see this at all. But I did have my red Birkin, my red Birkin with me. So actually I could do a comparison in store, which was very interesting and very, very useful. So yeah, it's a little bit, just having a look, it's a little bit, there's a few bits, there are a few bits inside here, but I think that is from this packaging, this little bits of paper. So I don't think it's dirty or anything like that. I think it's just had a little bit of packaging in it. So let's have a look at the details, because we are all about the details, guys, aren't we? So let's have a look. I will show you some cutaways as well of this as a crossbody. There is one thing that I just want to point out, which I think is a really lovely touch, is you can see here that is the adjustment. That's coming up. That is the adjustment, and there's some more holes here. So I've got this on the longest setting, and if you turn it around, it has this really nice gold sort of plaque area that sort of covers the details there. And so when you're wearing it, that's what you see. And I think that is a really nice touch. I think that's really nice. I personally would like this a little longer. I say this to every single bag brand, manufacturer, whatever. Just make them a little bit longer. I'm not tall, I'm 5'3", but I'm quite curvy, and particularly in the winter I'm wearing chunky things like this. Maybe I have a chunky coat on, and yes, this does go, I'll just stand up and show you, this does go crossbody, but I probably can see from this it's just a little, bits all over me, it's just a little bit short. I would prefer that a little bit longer. But that is always, always, always my criticism of all bags, of all brands. So let's have a look at some of the details. So as I say, the details on the actual strap are really lovely. The lobster claw clasps are really lovely. I always look at the glazing. The glazing is something I always look at, and I would say that is lovely. That feels really, you can see here, that feels really smooth. There's no gaps, it feels lovely. As I say, there's some down here, this side. This feels really lovely as well. So that is something I always look for, guys. What is the glazing like? Does it feel smooth? Has it been done well with attention to detail, but also has it, you know, does it feel like it's going to peel, or is there already gaps in it and things like that? So let's have a look at the top of the bag. Again, it's got the glazing along here. It's also got glazing along here. It's all really lovely. Details and logos. It does say FAIRFAX and Favour. Is that coming up on here? And that's the only logo that you see, which isn't overly noticeable. So I appreciate that. I don't want too many huge logos on it. Colour wise, it is, as I say, it's coming up slightly brighter on screen. Don't know if that helps. Maybe more like that. Hopefully that comes up. So it is a burgundy, but it's definitely got a brown undertone to it. It's maybe what you class maybe an oxblood, maybe even a bit more brown than that. I think it's a beautiful colour. It's a rich colour. The leather is pebbled. It feels nice. I'll quickly tell you what actually fits in and whether I think that this opening is going to be a pain. So let's have a look at my phone. My phone is the iPhone 16 Pro, so not the big one, it's the regular size phone. And you can see it does go in. It does go in. There's loads of room, absolutely loads of room. What else have I got? Let me just grab some things because my gorgeous Bohem Goyard bag is here because I have been using it loads. It is literally my everyday bag. So I've got a few bits out here. So my phone is in there. I've also got my Calvi card holder from HERMES, which obviously will go in absolutely no problem. I've then got my Goyard key pouch, which is just, I use this every single day. It's just brilliant. It's a really good size, but it also has also has a bubble in here. It also has a keychain there, so it's really good is this pouch. I love it, and I love the green. So yeah, that can go in, no worries. You see there's loads of room still. And let's have a look at the mini pochette. Now, in a bag of this size, it's unlikely that I would take a pouch this big. I would probably just take the Goyard pouch, but there are times when I might want to. So let's see. Let's take the Goyard out because I wouldn't have both. And let's see. So that does go in. You can see there. That does go in, but you have to sort of maneuver it in a bit like that, but that's okay because this is the micro bag. This isn't meant to be a all-day work bag or anything like that. So yeah, this does come in a bigger size, which I would have loved to get my hands on. Not gonna lie guys, I would have loved to see the bigger size of this because the bigger size might have been even better for me, because you can do crook of the arm, where this is literally a handheld. But you know, I was happy to get my hands on this one. So yeah, let me talk about how I managed to get my hands on it. Then let me talk about what my thoughts are on this collaboration and Lydia Millen, and then I'm going to do a comparison with my Birkin. And then I'm going to show you what else I bought from FAIRFAX and Favour. So yeah, this is turning out to be a long video. So let's make some room. So I, as I say, went to FAIRFAX and Favour to see if I could try on some boots. I didn't know the heel height I wanted. I didn't know my shoe size because I didn't know if they were true to size or not. I have quite wide feet. I've got high instep, high arches. Things aren't always that easy for me with shoes, and particularly boots. I can never buy boots that fit my calves. Anyway, we'll come on to what I ended up buying. But anyway, so I wanted to go in store and actually try some on. And the minute I walked into store, there was a table display and this was sat on the table. And I clocked it immediately, within 10 seconds. And I knew this was the Lydia bag. I knew it was because I've seen the launch of this. And I said to the lady came over and said, can I help you? And I said, oh, I'm going to have a look at some boots. And she was like, can I get you a glass of fizz? And me and my friend were like, no, we're fine, thank you. And she was like, oh, coffee. And we both went, coffee, please. We're so rock and roll, me and my friend. Anyway, so we go into the store area and we're just having a look, and I keep my eye on this, and I then said to her, this is the Lydia Millen bag, isn't it? And she said, yes. And I said, but it's sold out everywhere. And she said, yes. And I said, is this just for display? And she said, no, we have 2. And I was like, wow. So I said, how do you have them? And she said, there's just odd little bits of stock that they've kept for stores. But she said, how we've got 2, I do not know. So they had 2 exactly the same as this in the burgundy in the small size. They didn't have any of the bigger one. They didn't have the clutch. You didn't see any of the other colours, anything like that. And so I said to her, can I try it on? And she took it off display. And I said, can I take photos of it and a video of it and all the rest of it? And they were very, very obliging. So I was doing lots of different mod shots. And I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm going to be brutally honest here. At that point, before I actually got my hands on it, when she was taking it off display, I thought, I'm going to get some really good footage for you guys, because I thought it would be it'd be good content to show you from somebody who, you know, I'm not anything to do with Lydia or her team or anything else. Obviously, this is not an ad or a sponsored anything. Lydia does not even know I exist at all. So this isn't from somebody who is helping her to sell something. This is somebody who is actually quite skeptical about why and how and all the rest of it. I was more skeptical about the HERMES bags leaving her collection than why she would do this. I understand why she would do a collaboration like this. Anyway, so yeah, I thought I will get some content, because I thought it would be good for you guys if you are waiting for the second drop of these, because it is relaunching on the 2nd, I think, of December. So there's people putting notifications in at the minute and everything else. So I think, yeah, I just thought it would be really good for me to get some footage of it. And because I happen to have my Birkin with me, I could do some shots in the mirror and show you the comparison, the differences, maybe some close-ups of the leather. And I did ask the lady, am I okay to take loads of photos and film and everything? And she said, absolutely fine. But guys, the minute I got my hands on it, I just thought, this is a really, really lovely bag. And that sounds like I'm really surprised. And in a way, I sort of am, but I'm not, because FAIRFAX and Favour. Let me just grab my other FAIRFAX and Favour bag. Right, I am back. I am back. So this is my other FAIRFAX and Favour bag that I bought from the Great Yorkshire Show. And this is, it's a wonderful bag. It's a messenger bag. It's in the blue suede, and it's got a lovely zipper. It's got a lovely interior. It's got a guitar strap that I don't particularly like, but it's fine. And this has been a really useful bag and really amazing. But this is the sort of bag that I associate with FAIRFAX and Favour. They also do some other top handle bags with little flap over with a tassel. They're not really my cup of tea. They're not really, but I know from looking at them and from buying this, the quality of FAIRFAX and Favour is exceptional, particularly for the price. So anyway, back to Lydia. So when I actually got my hands on this one, I thought that this would be, looking online at it, I thought it looks like a lovely bag. And I'm not gonna lie about this. I thought it's very Birkin reminiscent. So, you know, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I just assumed that it would be a nice bag. And particularly for the price, let me tell you the price, guys, £345. Now, for a contemporary bag, that's still a lot of money, but it's actually, for a full leather bag in a beautiful, like, oh, gorgeous colour, in the beautiful quality that it is, that is an insane price. Insanely good price. Honestly, I've been looking at Mulberry, I've been looking at Coach more recently. You guys know I have been looking more and more at some of the affordable things because you guys love them. Plus, I have to stop spending. So there was a part of me that thought, maybe I just stop spending this sort of money and maybe I can spend this sort of money. But anyway, I am going on a full pause. for now. But anyway, so £345. This is cheaper than any Coach bag that I've seen. It's cheaper, it's probably a third of the price of the Mulberry bag that I was looking at. And yes, Mulberry have their reputation, their brand awareness and everything else, but Fairfax and Favour also, they don't have the outlets, but they do have an amazing reputation, particularly in the countryside. The Great Yorkshire Show is a huge agricultural show with show jumping and all different sorts of things going on there. And there's so many stalls and outlets to sell things, and Fairfax and Favour are always the biggest one there. It's really well known, and yeah, as I say, reputation wise it is very highly regarded, but it doesn't have the gravitas of Mulberry or Coach. It just doesn't. So yeah, anyway, I'm waffling on because I can't believe how good this bag is. I honestly, so all my skepticism has gone away. It's gone away, and that is because I've been hopefully open-minded enough to go and get my hands on this, and I was very lucky to get my hands on it. And actually, yes, I need to use it and all the rest of it, but I can tell I'm a little bit of an expert when it comes to handbags. And honestly guys, for the money it is insanely good. It's as good, if not better, than the Mulberry Bayswater. It just is. I don't know. You might want to come for me on that. I don't know. That is my humble opinion. The downside of it, as I said, the price is amazing. The colour's amazing. The leather feels lovely. The hardware feels lovely. There's nothing to note. The two downsides of it that I personally would change, and that is just me. I wish the opening was a little bit wider, just because this sort of gets in the way. It's a small thing, it's a small bag, it doesn't really matter. And the other thing, I wish this was just even like 2 holes longer, something like that, and that would have made it absolutely spot on for me. But yeah, it's really lovely. So anyway, I think what I'm trying to say is that this is the sort of, I think this was just under 300, so for only an extra £50 you get this. And much as this is lovely, this is sort of the standard of bag that I thought you would get from Fairfax and Favour. This feels like, as I say, it feels so much more than the price. It just does. It just does. I'm surprised, but then I'm not, because I know Fairfax and Favour, and I know that Fairfax and Favour, the quality is beautiful. Anyway, enough waffling, and let's get on with a bit of a comparison. So let me just move some things out of the way. Oh, I'm dropping things all over the place. So this is my Birkin 25. So let's just pull in the sides. So there we go. This is the Birkin 25. My one criticism of this was always the top handle. I just wish that this was a little bit bigger so I could get it on the crook of my arm. At the moment, I can get it part way up, particularly with a chunky jumper, you just can't. So this is, it's literally handheld. And that was my, you know, I just wish it was a bit bigger. So in comparison, this is the micro, what's it called again? The micro top handle bag. So you can see there the size difference, and you can see it is reminiscent of the Birkin. It is, look. It's got the glazing along the top, same as this one. It's got the glazing along the top here, so it just means that this stands slightly higher than this one. So the back edge of it just stands slightly higher. You can see that the handles are slightly different shape, but you can see that the overall aesthetic of it, you see it's slightly triangular. I think the back is where it's the most similar, because you've got the handles where they're stitched here, and then you've got these bits here. So I would say that is the most reminiscent bit of these two. But you can see the size is different, the aesthetic is different from the front. You're not gonna see this and think that's a Birkin. It's not like a replica, any shape or form at all. You would look at this and think, yeah, it's reminiscent, but you wouldn't mistake it for it, because obviously this has got the sangles, and it's also got the hardware here, and this is obviously buckles. But the fact that it's got a belt type, a strap that comes along the front, yeah, it is reminiscent. But I think, and in fairness to Lydia, she did say in one of her videos that there are many bags that have this silhouette. I think the Sac de Jour has this silhouette. There's a Prada bag, that's YSL. There's a Prada bag that has this sort of silhouette. Anyway, you could probably choose different luxury houses, and you could probably find something that has a similar-ish silhouette of this, because it's at the end of the day it's a handbag. So yes, there are similarities. I would say this bit here is similar. I would say just the overall shape and the fact that it's got the glazing here, and this stands up slightly higher than this bit here, and the fact that it's little top handles. It is reminiscent, but again, it's not a copy. It's just not. It's very different. So you can see here a little bit close up. So my Birkin 25 is Rouge Grenat, and both of them are coming up on screen lighter than they actually are in real life. But if we have a look at the Rodeo, because some of you guys might be interested. Some of you guys might be interested in this. So let's have a look at the Rodeo, because, okay. So this colour here on the strap and on the mane and on the tail, that is Rouge Ash, Rouge H. So that's Hermes like signature burgundy. So you can see that this colour of this Lydia Millen bag is darker and more brown. But what is interesting is this colour here is Rouge Cellier, which is a burgundy brown, and I would say that they're really, it's under my lights it shows everything just slightly off, but it is in real life, this colour is very similar to this colour. So if I look at it from here, I don't know if this helps, from over here, it is more like Rouge Cellier colour. So it is definitely more of a brown, a burgundy brown. Anyway, so yeah, my comparison is, yes, I'm not going to sit here and say, let me just feel the leathers of this. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is as beautiful quality as an Hermes leather, because I don't know. I know that Hermes leathers are impeccable, are gorgeous. I love them. It's super light. This one's slightly heavier. Just take all my bits out and then I can actually look at it properly. So take all those bits out. So, you know, it's not a heavy bag, but it has, you know, to say it's a little bit small, it does have some sort of weight to it. So yeah, I'm not an expert on leather. I've no idea how these leathers are made, how they're dyed, no idea. So all I can say is just the feel of it and what I know from the Hermes one. I would say this is a beautifully made bag. And from what I know, they're made in Great Britain as well, which is always a win for us, isn't it? So yeah, overall, what do I actually think of it? Well, as I said, let's just rewind a little bit. Let's just rewind. Because when I was taking the photos of it, I intended just to take some photos of it, and then I could do some content for you guys, and I could say, if you're interested in putting your name down for this drop, then this is what it looks like. This is what's compared to the Birkin. If you're interested in that, this is my thoughts on it. This is what it looks like on my body frame and all the rest of it. But the minute I got my hands on it, I was like, I couldn't put it down. I literally couldn't put it down. And a lady came in just after I'd got my hands on this and saw me with it in the mirror and said to another sales associate, oh, that's a Lydia Millen bag. I've been looking for it, And she said, oh, is that lady buying it? And the other lady said, I don't know. I know she's having a look at it. And then, but she said, we have 2 of them. And she was like, oh my God, thank you, thank you. So she ended up buying it. And then another lady came in while we were still in there asking. And she said, we had 2 this morning and one's already gone. And that lady over there, I think, is buying it. Anyway, I've whittled on enough about it. But yeah, for all my scepticism, I'm eating my words. I'm eating my words. So well done to Fairfax and Favour. And well done to Lydia Millen, because I know this was a bigger process than just her putting her name on it. I know she was part of the whole design thing. And you can see the influences. But that is because Lydia's very much like me in respect of, she did love her Hermes bags. You know, she really did love that silhouette. So of course she's gonna design something that she likes to use. So yeah. Am I going to be buying more of these? Well, I might have put my name down. So yeah, blown away. I hold my hands up, blown away. Right, Fiona, how have we done today?
Incredibly well.
How long have we been in this store?
An hour and a half.
How many things did we try on?
Can't remember, there were too many.
Did we end up buying anything?
Just a few things.
Okay, so I'm going to just turn the camera around. So this is what we've bought, isn't it, Fiona?
Yes.
And how many of these are yours?
1.
So that means 2 are mine. So that means an unboxing is coming. Guys, this video is going to be the longest video ever. But anyway, while I was in Fairfax and Favour, I also bought these. So I thought I'd show you these because these are really lovely. Maybe a gift, maybe a Christmas present, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, again, beautifully packaged. You see the packaging. So as a gift, these are absolutely beautiful, aren't they? But any idea what these might be? So I got some gloves. And they're just beautiful. Again, gorgeous leather. I just went for the black. They've got the Fairfax and Favour, like crest or whatever you call this bit. But it's subtle enough that it's really nice. So I got these in a size small. They come small, medium and large. Inside they are, I don't know if that's coming up. Inside they are like fleecy, like woolly fleecy lined. Oh, they honestly, I wish I could show you through the screen how soft these are. These were £95. So these are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but they are very luxurious and they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. So I would, yeah, sorry, I can't stop stroking them. They are, yeah, I think they'll be an absolutely lovely gift. But yeah, they're a gift from me to me. So that was the other thing I bought. And then I did end up buying some boots. I did buy some boots, but not the ones I thought I was going to buy. So let me just tell you about the ones that I actually went to try on. So they are called the Regina boot. And as I say, I've got really big calves. I blame all the strength training at the gym. I don't know if it's that or if it's just how I'm built. I've no idea, but I always have problems finding any boots that fit me, that aren't just the stretchy. I've got some Vivaya ones that are really amazing. They're like the stretchy ones. They're the only ones that I can wear because I've tried so many and it's just embarrassing in the store where you just can't zip it up. Anyway, Fairfax and Favour have different calf widths, and weirdly enough, the bigger calf width, which they call the sporting fit, they were a bit big. They stood off a little bit at the back. So she actually said, I think you are regular, which is crazy. Anyway, they were a struggle and a half to get on. A struggle and a half. But once they were on, they were super comfortable. And they have like an elasticated bit at the back, which is where obviously it takes the extra calf width that you need. So she did say, I know they're a struggle to get on, but they will soften. So you don't want the bigger size because they're already hanging off. So these ones are the ones, even though you think, oh my goodness, it's a right old workout to get them on. I tried them on in this mahogany and they were just absolutely stunning. I went for the mid heel, so it's just like a little block heel. They were so comfortable. So why didn't I buy them? Well, firstly, because I saw these and I wasn't buying both. And secondly, because the length of the boot was just a little bit too long. I've got really short legs. And so the back of the top of the boot was digging in behind my knee. So anytime I tried to sit down, it really dug in. And she said it will soften. And I just thought, oh, I don't know, it's going to put me off wearing them. And anyway, apparently you can get them in a petite size. So I maybe need to look that up because I didn't have those in store. But anyway, I'd already found these. And these are, you can tell from the size of the box, these are not long boots. But these are right up my street. So again, they get a dust bag each. I mean, just honestly, guys, the attention to detail. Again, you get the beautiful packaging. And I went for these. So these are the, let's find out what these are called. Right, I've got the other one out. Here they are. So these are, again, they're in mahogany. And these are called I think these are called the Boudica. Let me find it. Yeah, so why don't I get prepared before I come on screen? I've no idea. But yeah, I went for these ones. So these are the mahogany colour. And these are, they're like Chelsea boots, but they're called Boudica. And they are, yeah, in the colour mahogany. These also come in like a tan leather. And I think there's also a suede one that's called Fog that was beautiful as well. But I just like these. I just thought, again, they've got that slight browny, reddy undertone. And can I just say, there might have been a reason why I went for these. But you can see from the tread, that these are going to be just amazing. And inside, just take out some of this stuffing. I don't know if you can see inside there anyway, but they've got little bits of fleece inside. So let me just take this fully out. Yeah, they are fleecy all the way through. So there they are. These I got true to size. So I'm usually a UK 6, a size European 39. And these are going to get, you can see here, they're going to get battered. They're going to just age beautifully. So these are made to be worn. They're made to just be, yeah, battered. I wear so many wide leg jeans, wide leg trousers. I just live in jeans at the minute. And I just thought these, yeah. So yes, they're not long boots. Yes, they're not smart boots. But I don't really have anything like this. So yeah. So that's what I ended up getting. So that is what I bought. So that was my last little haul before I put myself on pause. So I thought I would just show you those because I thought particularly the bag just might be of some interest to quite a few of you guys. The ladies in Fairfax and Favour said every single day people are coming in asking for these bags, and that they sold out in 7 minutes and they've just never known anything like it. So again, well done to everybody involved because huge collaboration. So yeah, I've put my name down for the clutch and the bigger one of those. So we'll see when the 2nd of December comes along whether any of us can get our hands on them. But yeah, so I will hold my hands up and say, if I'm not saying that I was wrong, because I didn't say before that the bags wouldn't be nice. I was just a little skeptical about the Hermes thing. But, you know, I will put my hands up and I will say, so job well done, job well done. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I will see you on another one